Hi everybody, Byron Lazine, Tim Bray. Today is July 10th, 2017. This is Seaport Real Estate Group's Market Minute of William Pitt Sotheby's International Realty. And today we've been talking a lot, whether it's on the radio, whether it's on Raw and Uncut, whether it's in conversation with people. We've been talking a lot about this being, this summer, a huge opportunity if you're selling your home. Great time to sell, great time to sell. And somebody said to you,
well, it's funny.
Recently,
they're asking, usually if I were to come up to you and say, hey, how's the real estate market, Byron? What's the response if you're the typical agent?
Oh, if you're the typical agent, so this is not my response, just want to clarify. The typical agent, it's great.
Right.
Or
but
if
they've
it's
been
not
trained
so great,
to say
it sucks, right? Like the response should be, we always say this, well, that depends. Are you looking to buy, sell, or rent?
Which price range are we in? Which sub-market?
Because the answer is going to be different. And you can't just...
But that's a great way to tell if you're dealing with a true professional consultant
that
or
one
just
question.
the average person.
How's the market?
If there's a pause, you're probably dealing with a professional.
If they say that depends, are you looking to... You've got someone who's in the game. Now, we keep saying on a broad brush, great time to sell, because for the last 4 or 5 years in our marketplace, we've seen transactions go up each and every year across the country. We're seeing sales prices rise. We're seeing transactions rise. We're seeing that at scale over the last 4 or 5 years. So if you paint the broad brush, is now a great time to sell? Yeah, there's more buyers in the marketplace. There's more transactions happening. So what does that mean for buyers? Does that mean it's a terrible time to buy?
No, in fact, it depends on how long you plan to reside in that property.
Absolutely.
I mean, it has the functional utility of giving you housing. Now, if you said, I'm not going to stay in that house for more than 3 years.
What do we always say to those people?
3 to 5 years, you've got to be in, don't buy, rent.
Right.
And But now think of this, if you could be in that house for 5 to 10 years, but you're renting, how much is that going to adversely impact your cash flow? So if you're paying $2,000 a month for 5 to 10 years, and you could have purchased, yet you lost value in your house, you could have been doing things to that property. You could have enjoyed the functionality of that house. You could have written off the tax benefits. So there's a break-even point there.
When we're talking about residential real estate, there's so many variables. It's what school do you want to be in? What's your lifestyle look like? What do you want to do? Do you want to do things to your house? Is that a hobby of yours that you enjoy? Because you can't do that on a rental.
Right.
But the minute a buyer tells me, well, I don't know, I can't see past 3 years, if you don't know, you gotta know. You have to know when you buy real estate. Like, I've been through it. I've lost homes because I didn't have a great plan. Residential real estate as well. You need to know, I'm gonna be in this house.
That's right.
This is where I want to be. And I know that's tough for you to know with certainty, but there are people that know, hey, I'm gonna be in this community for the next till the day I die.
And if you're single, let's say you're out there, you're single, and you're in your 20s and you expect to find that person, maybe have a family, but it's not even on your horizon. Know that within 5 to 7 years, if there's a possibility of that happening, you better not be buying that 1 or 2 bedroom. You better be looking at that 3 bedroom. You better be looking at schools. You better be looking at those things that could impact your
Over the weekend, I was talking to friends of mine who live in Massachusetts, and they're about to have a baby, and they're like, well, we're looking at it, but Massachusetts, we know the prices are like shot through the roof. So they're like, we're looking, and the most we can really afford is 1,200 square feet, 3-bed, 1-bath. I'm like, you guys are about to have a baby. Can you afford the 3-bedroom, 2-bath place on the rent right now? Yeah, we can afford that, but we just want to own. We just want to do it, man.
And your advice?
I'm like, my advice is, you're gonna have a kid, and I said to the guy, I said, dude, how often does she get pissed right now every time you go into the bathroom, right, for an extended period of time? Think about when you have a kid now, you're gonna want the utility of a second bathroom. The prices are through the roof.
But everybody's doing it. It's that mentality, right? Everybody's doing it. I gotta do it. I gotta jump in.
I've gotta do it. So
do the opposite.
Here's what I'll say though about buying today. It's a great time to buy. Money's cheap.
Money is cheap.
So I'm saying on one side it's a great time to sell. It's also a great time to buy if you know this is where I'm gonna be, this is where I want to live, this is where my career is, this is where my family is, I want to be here, then it's a great time to buy.
I would throw caution to the wind on that one. because it's a great time to buy if you buy in a location that is going to allow you to sell in the future with an easier way. Functionality, you've got to look at floor plan. You've got to have an agent that's going to really help you, not somebody who's just going to show you properties.
And the floor plan's a big deal. Is this the right house for my needs today? And if my family grows, is it the right house for my needs? Like, all of that is coming into consideration when you make that decision. That being said, you gave the example of, quickly before we sign off, of Tony Robbins with the stock market.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's a great example, right? Like, if you're, the last 20 years, what was the stat Tony said? In the last 20 years, if you missed
20 days.
Since like 2000.
Yeah, just 20 days, individual days. So let's say you got out of that market.
You were trying to be a day trader.
Yeah, people do. Then you would have lost. You would have gained if you hadn't done that. If you're in the market the entire time, you would have had like an 8% return.
Right.
But that 8% return, because you missed those 20 days, went down to 2%.
Just by missing little card malfunction. So Tony Robbins was basically saying, if you were out of the market the top 20 days over the last 20 years, you're down to 2% return.
Right.
You're dramatically impacting your return on your investment.
Long-term play.
Long-term. Same thing with your residential home. If you're sitting in that home for a long term, you're not going to lose. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. On paper, you might have lost, but that's not reality until you sell.
That's it.
Right?
You've got to stay in.
Guys, we're super, super passionate, Seaport Real Estate Group, about helping this community make the right decisions. Whether it's time to buy or time to sell, that's going to be an individual situation and analysis and consulting.
Absolutely.
We're here to help. info@seaportre.com, seaportre.com. You can find us. Drop us a comment, certainly, if you want a quick question right here. Tim, Byron, Seaport Real Estate Group, we're signing out. See ya.